Document management is a vital part of any well-run business. Project specifications, review minutes, test reports or calculation sheets all need managing and reviewing. Each document is a critical element in any quality audit. PDM Anydocs allows organizations to lifecycle manage and revision control documents within an existing Model Manager installation. With Anydocs installed, a new menu option is available within Model Manager. In addition, the Anydocs application loads to the system tray. To add a document to Model Manager, we can right-click on the Anydocs application icon and open a drag-and-drop form. This semi-transparent window is a drop area for any documents taken from the file system. In this case, we drag a document from the desktop and drop it onto the form. We're now prompted to populate Model Manager attributes relating to the document. Here we add a name and description. The name could be populated using Model Manager's rolling number generator. I want to save this document to the packet or folder I'm about to work on, so I can change my working packet as I store the document. Documents are stored to a new class definition called Office Documents. To search for the document just added, we can run a search for any Office documents created today. This search returns two results, a project specification stored earlier and the ERP adapter document just added. Notice that each document has an icon relating to its associated application, in this case Word. In addition, we can open the document properties, allowing us to see attributes, where used information, and file versions stored against the record. The number of file versions that are retained is configurable. To modify the document, we can either double-click to load it into its native application, or right-click and select Load. We can now modify the document as required. When the modifications are complete, we store back using the application's normal save icon. Notice that we're prompted to overwrite the existing document. This is the default option when the document is at a work state and we have it reserved. But we do have the option to override this if we want to create a new document based on the document that we loaded. If we again check the properties of the document record, we see that we now have two file versions retained. We're currently working on a project to design a regulator panel. We can see in the folder that we have a project specification available for review. We want to add a new part record for a purchase component that will not be modelled. In addition, we want to add a datasheet and purchase specification against this part record. If we run a search for existing part records used on the panel, we can then take out the next number for the record we're creating. From our recent list, we can see the part record just created. We're now going to add a datasheet downloaded from the supplier's website. Again, we use the same method to add the datasheet document to Model Manager. Next, we create a purchasing specification based on a document template already stored to Model Manager. Simply load the document template and then store it back as a new document record. Note, this time the default option is Save As, because the template is protected by its state and cannot be modified. As we store the document, we add important information to the two description attributes, which will be transferred to and used on the document. If we now reload the document, we can see the description field correctly populated. Anydocs supplies an XML file when the document is loaded from Model Manager, which contains a complete set of attribute values. These attributes can be read by a macro and used to populate fields within the document. Here we add the Model Manager attribute called Description2 to the Comments field of the specification sheet. With the changes complete, we store the document back to Model Manager. We now take the two documents just added and copy them to the part record created earlier. With the documents now complete, we change their state to released. At some point we may need to make changes to the specification sheet. To do this, we load the document and make the necessary changes. Note this time that major revision is suggested as the default option when storing the modified document. We add change note information and complete the save. With the new revision added, the old revision is moved to the part record history folder, with the new revision at a default work state. In addition, we can see the change note information stored against the document record. Important information is frequently exchanged by email, for example quotes or information provided by a supplier. Anydocs allows emails to be stored to Model Manager. Select the emails from Outlook and, as before, drag them to the drop form. Like documents, emails are stored to a separate Model Manager class. Attachments can be configured to remain embedded in the email or separated out as linked documents. Here we see a number of PDF files attached to the email, which can be opened and viewed. Each email is unique. This means that if another member of the project team has been copied in on the email and then attempts to store it to Model Manager, the properties of the original email will open. A new copy will not be stored. PDM Anydocs extends the use of Model Manager to bring critical documentation under control, easing the path to compliance with quality standards.